I'm going to go on to the blue here, which is very similar to the blue here. It's just a little bit darker. And that's Ultramarine with a little bit of Paynes Gray in it. Okay, maybe a little bit more Paynes Gray. And it's darker at the bottom here, and then it gets lighter. So I'm going to dip my brush, dry it off, and move up. And then this end is actually quite straight. And I kind of lost that. All right. I need to go much darker. Dry my brush to move on. This is kind of shaped like a wing here. I'm gonna need to bring the brown down a little bit. Okay, that's a lot closer. And then the blue part goes around these feather things. And there's two sections of it, and I'm gonna paint them separately because I think that's easier. And then this part, there's white and blue and white and blue and then some black. So they're really closer together there, and then they get further apart here. I'm not doing it exactly like the picture because I've lost my drawing a little bit. Or maybe I've just lost my place in my drawing. And then that goes over to here, to right there, comes down this way. And there's some black in it. We'll get the black in it later, after this is a little bit drier. And I'm gonna actually go over it with blue now, a really dry blue, and fill in those a little bit. Because they're not quite as stark of a blue as they look. Now we need to get the black in there. And I think the paper is dry enough. So there's a definite black spot up here. There's a hair coming out of there. Well, maybe it's just that way. That's pretty defined right there. And right there. And I can't keep going along here because it's also wet. So all of it's running a little bit, and I'm not minding that because it's not that defined in the picture either. And then right here, we have one that goes all the way, and another one right beside it that goes all the way up. And it goes all the way in to this part. These other ones don't quite go all the way in, they just almost do. All right. I'm going to find the bottom of this wing to help me know what I'm doing. Okay, there's that very black one. And it goes over to this and around it. And it's probably even blacker than that. Then the next one is also pretty black, and it goes way out to there. And then the next one is a little bit lighter, grayer. So I mixed some water in. And this one's quite a bit wider. And it goes out to the end too. Now this photo, the bird gets fuzzy out there. And so it makes it harder to see what you need to see. And then there's a blue-gray that's in between, and it's all sort of blurred. So I'm gonna get this going out here and go right over top of these. And I don't care if they fuzzy up because that's how they do in the picture. And this part comes down. All right. Now, to make that edge look a little bit more fuzzy, we're gonna get our brush really clean, totally clean water, tap it at the bottom, and just run along this edge and agitate it just a little bit and just let it run into the paper a little bit. And same with all the way around it, and it gives the feeling of motion because of the blur. We're gonna do that the whole way down. The blur helps it look like a moving bird. And his wing is definitely what's moving. Okay. Now to finish that off, I'm going to take some bluer blue in here and get these other white spots. And then if I feel like it needs more white, I'll get it later when I do my end of the painting tweaking. So there we have that part. This part is this white, and you need just a really light blue. It's almost a slightly different shade of blue in there. And it's all very blurred. So I'm gonna try and get it in about the same places and make the shapes happen. And then I'm just gonna go through and blur it all. And it'll get defined at these edges when I do go back to those parts. And that part I can't finish until it dries, so there you have that much. It's starting to look like a bird.